Hi guys, Patrick here of noipgeeks.com. Dinelay man ng pandemic yung release niya sa Philippines, but finally, nandito na siya, the Realme 6 Pro. Kung hindi niyo napansin, Realme stepped up their game and rearranged its mid-range line. To explain it briefly, basing on their new prices, pwede mong tignan yung Realme 6i as a successor to the Realme 5, tapos yung Realme 6 to the Realme 5 Pro, and the one that we have here, the Realme 6 Pro, have been promoted to the sub 16,000 smartphone range na dati ay para kay Realme XT. But enough introduction. Here in our Realme 6 Pro review, titignan natin what does this device has in store for us at kung gaano ba talaga kalaking improvement nito over the Realme 5 Pro para tumaas yung presyo. Isa sa pinaka-highlight itong Realme 6 Pro ay yung kanyang design. Although medyo underdog pa rin talaga yung Realme, the company is really making a statement by coming up with new designs in their releases kahit ilang buwan lang yung pagitan nila. Kung makikita nyo, itong Realme 6 Pro has a more imaginative design than its predecessors. Itong Corning Gorilla Glass 5 sa likod, meron siyang parang lightning na reflection na medyo gumagalaw as it reflects the light. Itong review unit na meron tayo is the Lightning Red color option. Available din siya sa Lightning Blue dito sa Philippines. Although nung nirelease kasi ito sa India way back in March, meron siya actually Lightning Orange na color option. So di natin alam kung darating ba sa Philippines on a later date or never at all. Isa rin sa nagustuhan namin sa design is itong lock and power button, which doubles as the fingerprint scanner. Dahil dito, mas naging malinis yung design, and itong fingerprint scanner na to really works fast and very reliable during our testing. Yun nga lang, it is not the most compact device of all, but that's forgivable considering that we're getting a large display and battery out of it. Which leads us to the another great feature of this device, the display. This thing has a 6.6-inch Full HD Plus IPS screen with a 20:9 aspect ratio. So malaki talaga siya, which is perfect for multitasking or gaming or watching movies. Pero actually, hindi pa yun. Ang pinaka-impressive na feature nitong display na to is yung kanyang 90Hz refresh rate, which makes the Realme 6 Pro as one of the cheapest devices to have this feature. Yung 90Hz refresh rate is fast and smooth enough. Yun nga lang yung difference between itong 90Hz tsaka yung 60Hz ng mga normal phones. Yung difference niya medyo hindi noticeable. Unlike when you compare it dun sa mga 120Hz screens like what the Galaxy S20 Ultra has and other flagship devices. But nevertheless, the entire interface as well as most compatible games and video streaming apps looks really smooth on this one. The colors and contrasts are also decent for an IPS panel and sharpness is also okay. Now to complete yung multimedia experience, meron tayong isang loudspeaker sa baba. For the price, mas okay sana kung meron tayong stereo speakers for a more immersive experience. Pero buti na lang itong nag-iisang speaker na to is actually really loud. Tapos audible din yung bass niya, so it provides a full and rich sound. Again, isa sa mga rason kung bakit makapal tong device na to is because meron siyang 4,300 mAh battery. As usual, we did our test by using the PC Mark battery test. Under these circumstances, nakakuha kami ng screen on time of 10 hours and 26 minutes. So, what does this mean? Well, if you are a light to moderate user, the device can last for an entire day even with 90Hz enabled. Yun nga lang kung heavy gamer kayo, baka tanghali or hapon pa lang kailangan nyo na mag-charge. Speaking of charging, another highlight of the Realme 6 Pro is the 30 watts flash charger, which is included na dun sa box. During our tests, kaya nyo naman mag-provide ng full charge in only an hour. Of course, another big feature of the Realme 6 Pro is its cameras. In fact, itong device na to has 6 cameras. Sa harap, meron tayong dalawa. Nandito yung 16 megapixel selfie camera at saka yung 8 megapixel ultra-wide for group shots. Tapos sa likod naman, meron tayong 64 megapixel main shooter and an 8 megapixel ultra-wide. Meron din tayo ditong 12 megapixel telephoto lens na nagsisimula ng maging common sa mga mid-range devices katulad nito. And of course, lastly, we have the obligatory 2 megapixel macro camera. As usual, itong 64 megapixel main camera outputs 16 megapixel images with pixel binning. The image quality is good. The colors, with or without the Chroma Boost software technology enabled, looks vibrant and realistic. Exposure, contrast, and dynamic range is also great. Plus, the details and rendering looks really clean, which is possibly isa sa mga benefits of the new Snapdragon 720G processor. Itong main camera also performed really well in low-light scenarios. Of course, noises and grains are inevitable, but the device was actually able to keep it at a minimum compared dun sa mga ibang devices that we have tested before. Also, the difference between the standard and night mode are almost unnoticeable. Using the full 64 megapixel resolution will obviously capture more details. Yun nga lang, without pixel binning, the lighting should be right to avoid any visible noise. Yung file sizes din ng 64 megapixel images is really high. Itong sample na nakikita nyo ngayon is actually 20 MB. Meanwhile, yung 16 megapixel photos is only at 5 MB. Personally, tingin ko dapat mag-stick na lang kayo dun sa standard 16 megapixel mode unless kung balak nyo mag-print ng image on a bigger canvas. Hindi nakakagulat na yung 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera since mas mababa yung resolution niya takes less impressive photos. The details are not that sharp pero buti na lang yung colors, contrast, dynamic range is still better than the competition. Again, this is possibly thanks to the new processor. Next up, ito namang 12 megapixel telephoto lens can provide 2 times of optical zoom. At this magnification, it allows you to take better portraits of people or remove any distraction from the foreground while maintaining a clean image with impressive color rendition. Dun sa camera app, there's a button that you can easily switch to 5 times zoom. Now, since digital na to, more noise are now present but still usable. But if you really wanna get close, pwede mong i-slide yung toggle na yon to go to 20 times zoom. But of course, expect nyo na sobrang grainy na ng image. And lastly, meron tayong 2 megapixel macro camera which is, I think, pretty useless. Hindi ko nandito lang siya para masabi na quad camera yung device. Medyo malabo yung images na makukuha mo dito, so you might be better off using 64 megapixel main camera tapos i-crop nyo na lang kung gusto nyo talaga ng close-up shot. Ngayon, dito naman tayo sa harap. The 16 megapixel front-facing camera takes really sharp images, which is nice for a selfie camera. This gives the AI face beauty mode a lot of details to work with without making the overall image look soft and parang malabo. And of course, next to that is the 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera. Katulad ng nasa likod, the sharpness is not the best, still usable enough for group shots and whatnot. Overall, we are really pleased with the cameras on the Realme 6 Pro. It captures images with great quality and provides flexibility front and back to whatever you wanna take pictures with. Ngayon mapunta tayo sa pinaka-controversial na feature nitong Realme 6 Pro, which is yung kanyang Qualcomm Snapdragon 720G processor. That is, ironically, in terms of gaming and CPU performance, mas mabagal siya compared sa MediaTek Helio G90T processor nung Realme 6. That is actually more affordable. Pero itong Snapdragon processor na to actually has better efficiency thanks to its 8nm build, has better connectivity features like Bluetooth 5.1, and other relevant chipset features. Yung unit na magiging available sa Philippines and the one that we have here comes with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of expandable storage. Nung nilaunch to back in March, meron siya actually 6GB, 64GB model pero hindi kami sure kung darating siya sa Philippines. Anyway, doing menial tasks like browsing the interface, taking pictures, browsing social media, and many more feels really seamless on this device, especially since meron siyang 90Hz refresh rate. As per gaming naman, kahit mas malakas yung G90T, sobrang smooth pa rin ng gaming experience dito sa Realme 6 Pro. Mobile Legends was playable at the highest graphic settings with the high frame rate or HFR enabled. Call of Duty Mobile and NBA 2K20 also run with no hassle at high graphic settings. Well, gaya nga ng nakita natin, the Realme 6 Pro is clearly a feature-rich mid-range smartphone. Realme might be an underdog, but their strong releases prove that they really know how to wow the people. Dito sa Realme 6 Pro, you're getting a large display with a smooth 90Hz refresh rate, that complements its reliable processor. Meron din siyang flexible set of camera. There's the ultra-wide camera on the front and a telephoto lens on the back. And of course, yung 64 megapixel main camera takes really clean and overall impressive photos. Lahat ng features na yun are accompanied by a decent battery life with an impressive fast charging support. Yun nga lang, it is still not a perfect device. Realme's choice of going with the Snapdragon 720G processor, despite its satisfactory performance, is a bit questionable, especially when you consider the price. So kung hindi big deal sa inyo yung smooth na 90Hz display at yung secondary selfie camera, then you might be better off with the Redmi Note 9 Pro, which offers a more compelling value for a cheaper price. Speaking of price, the Realme 6 Pro is now available in the Philippines for a price of 16,990 pesos. You can get it in tons of Realme stores nationwide, as well as in Realme's flagship store in Lazada. Again, this has been Patrick from mypx.com. For more detailed look about the Realme 6 Pro, you can check out all of the available links down in the description below. With us, hit the thumbs up button, share this video if you liked it, subscribe if you still haven't. Hit the bell icon so you get notified every time I post a video, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and yeah, thank you for watching.